So when Josh and I were talking about what topic we wanted to cover in this TED Talk, we decided to look for something that wasn't covered in our normal psych curriculum. Surprisingly, we both thought of the exact same thing: money. Maybe that's just the one thing that all high school minds jump towards. Either way, it gave us a topic: behavioral economics. Behavioral economics focuses on how the individual spends, in contrast to regular economics, which focuses more on how people should spend money. In behavioral economics, it is assumed that when people are tasked with a financial choice, they will go with the system that works most of the time for them, which is called a heuristic. This is essentially the same kind of heuristic we've covered in previous psych units. Many behavioral economics concepts can be explained through a simple trip to McDonald's. When ordering a meal, people are restricted to their bounded rationality, which means they will only be able to make decisions based on the information that is given to them at the time. For example, if I wanted to order a Big Mac, and there was a special going on that made the Big Mac come with a free side of fries that I didn't know about, I would only get the regular Big Mac meal, because I didn't know about that side. Now, this may seem obvious to most people, but when looking at economics, people often neglect the fact that the consumer does not know as much as the person looking at the whole system. So to the cashier, it wouldn't make sense for me not to choose that option, since it is the most profitable for me. Yet because I was unaware of it, I didn't make that choice. These are the kind of things that an economist must take into account. Another concept very similar to bounded rationality is bounded welfare. Bounded welfare is the idea that consumers don't always choose options that benefit them in the long term. While this may seem obvious from your viewpoint, when looking at a financial system, it's very odd to see someone make a decision that has a net negative outcome for them. So the idea of bounded welfare in certain products, such as unhealthy food, is very important to keep in mind. Another concept likely to be seen at McDonald's is decision paralysis, in which too many options lead someone to not buy something. If there are too many sandwich options, it will often leave the buyer confused as to which one to purchase. So instead of ordering anything different or at all, I would either pick my usual order or choose to order nothing. McDonald's very efficiently employs the concept of attribute priming, which is putting the potential consumer in a mindset to buy their product. For McDonald's, this entails them having a very iconic sign associated with their product: food. When customers drive by the sign, they start to think about food, and are more likely to pick what gave them the thought of the food in the first place, which in this case would be McDonald's. The next concept isn't seen as much at food establishments as much as it would be at clothing stores like Kohl's. Stores raise the price and then provide an artificial sale to seem like the product in question is cheaper than normal. This is called irrational value assessment, and it preys on the fact that the average consumer rarely knows the intrinsic value of the product that they're buying, so they have no actual base price to compare to see how good a sale is. Irrational value assessment also plays into another concept, this one called artificial scarcity. Artificial scarcity makes an item seem more valuable by pretending there's a low stock of it, when actually, the supply is plentiful. The last concept that I wanted to bring up is called dominated alternatives. Now, dominated alternatives are tertiary options which make a more expensive option more appealing to the customer. Picture yourself being given two options: a burrito for $1 or a burger for $3. Logically, you should choose the burrito if you like both items equally. However, if the third option is introduced, such as a burger and a soda for $3, the second option is designed to make this new option more appealing, as it seems you are getting the soda for free. Now, this also ties in with another concept, the power of free, where things that seem to be free, even if we end up paying more for them as part of a bundle, are intrinsically more value to us as people. Now, both of these concepts are employed by companies, as most customers won't take the time to think through that a soda is incredibly cheap for companies to purchase, and it is just being used as a decoy for you to buy the more expensive choice.